we are gonna look at some new cards, and that includes the Exodia Support, I believe, that you guys are just asking about in chat. Because the Tokyo Dome event is going on right now. They are announcing a whole bunch of things. They also announced, believe it or not, they announced the first 2-day YCS for Japan. They're getting the first 2-day YCS, and it's gonna have room for 8,000 duelists. And I have no freaking doubt that they're going to reach that number. I'm pretty sure they're gonna reach that number, which is crazy. That is crazy. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be full, and it's gonna be an 8,000 player YCS. And that's why they had to do it for 2 days now. But it's still best of 1 and max C, so it's pretty much like going to the casino, but different story. Definitely gonna check that out once it happens. Zen Mighty, thank you for the 21 months. Welcome back. Appreciate that. All right. New cards, though, that were also announced, I believe, during the Tokyo Dome anniversary event. And I have not read these yet either. I've only seen like the artworks everywhere, and this is apparently a new Exodia fusion. Just to set the expectations straight, I'm not expecting these cards to actually be good because it's legacy Exodia support. And out of all the legacy things that where it feels like they wouldn't want to make them really strong, I feel like it would be Exodia, because it's kind of like a it's very cool, it's very bat chest. At the same time, it's not the most fun win condition, I would argue, you know, but I guess we'll see. We have the Phantom God Exodia Incarnate, which is a level 10 Dark Spellcaster Fusion Effect monster, and it requires 5 Forbidden One monsters, which is funny and ironic, because if you have 5 Forbidden One monsters, you've technically already won the game. Unless they made more that aren't the pieces. This card on the field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn, if this card battles during damage calculation, it gains attack equal to your current life points. Once per turn, when a spell trap or effect is activated, you can negate the activation. Once per turn during the end phase, you can set an Exodia spell trap or obliterate directly from your deck. Once per turn during your standby phase, you lose 1,000 life points. Okay. It's just big Omni Negate, can do a lot of damage and gets you a spell trap. I mean, it's a lot of effects on a single card, but the problem is it's probably impossible to summon, but okay. Millennium Cross. Monster Reborn looking card. Take 5 Forbidden One monster cards from hand, deck, and or face-up field. Reveal them. Then special summon... Oh, that fusion monster that we just read from your extra deck. Then shuffle all face-up monster cards you control into the deck except Exodia monster cards whose original level is 10 or higher, and Millennium monster cards. Also, you cannot special summon monster for the rest of this turn. After activation, shuffle this card into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. So, if I understand this correctly, all that this card does is you have to show your opponent all the Exodia pieces. You have to show to them that you play all of them, because they can be in your hand, deck, or face-up field. They just can't be in the graveyard yet. Right? They can't be in the grave or banished. They have to be in your, you know, in your hand, field, or deck. And then you can just summon out this dude. Right? Which is like, I mean, it's kind of like a funny mechanic at the same time, you know, having to put 5 Exodia pieces, which are probably bricks in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, because you're never going to have the time to assemble them. But I guess that is a way to summon this guy, which is an Omni Negate. So if you're feeling really freaking if you're feeling really ballsy about getting an Omni Negate, you can just slap this bad boy into your deck with 5 Exodia pieces. Oh, but it's not even an Omni, it's only spell and traps, right? It's only spell and traps. It's not even monsters. Okay. Oh, there seems to be a lot more cards to this. We should have all the effects on here then. Right? Let me see. This is very small image, but there's all of these cards here. Seems like a lot of retrains from old cards. Let's check them out. We have the Caveman that evoke after a millennium. Now, which one is that? The Caveman. Probably this one down here. Level 8, 2750, 2500. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can place it face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. If this card is a continuous spell, you can pay 2000 life points or reveal a Millennium Cross in your hand. Special summon this card, then you can add a Millennium Monster or a Sengenjin from your deck to your hand. Cannot be destroyed by monster effects. Okay, so this is probably this guy, because this looks like it's based off of Sengenjin. That is surprisingly not that bad of a card, even like outside of that archetype, because it's just a level 8 extender that's essentially completely free, right? Like, you just have it in your hand, place it in your spell and trap zone, pay through 2000 if you don't have the cross, summon it out, and then you even go +1 if there's other Millennium monsters that are worth playing. Right? So, theoretically, not even a bad card, like, generically. Because it's just a level 8 extender that goes +1. It's kind of costly. I mean, 2000 life points is not really costly. Like, let's say it like that. Like, it would only make it so that it would be bad close to time, but like in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, paying 2000 life points isn't that big of a deal. You pay 2000 a lot in this. Okay, if the entire archetype is about that, yeah, okay, maybe then it adds up, but like as its own card, this is okay. We have the Golem that guards the Millennium Treasure. Well, I'd be damned if that's not this one. This looks like a Golem. Level 6 Earth. You can only use the first and second each once per turn. If this card's in your hand, place it in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Ooh, they all do this. Okay. If this card is a continuous spell, you can pay 2000 life or reveal Millennium Cross, special summon this card. Then you can add a Temple of the Stone Slabs from your deck to your hand. The activation of your Millennium Cross cannot be negated. Okay. This is in some aspects better than the previous cards, in some aspects is worse. What I'm thinking makes it better is that it's a level 6, which level 6 extenders I think are generally really strong. I mean, level 8 is also a good level, but level 6 extender is something that, you know, I'm thinking Beatrice and that kind of stuff. We have to read what the card does that it searches, because I'm not aware that that card already exists. I think the entire archetype is new, so that card is also probably new, but it does, you know, search you this card for free and protects your Millennium Cross from negation. We have Shield of the Millennium Dynasty. Okay, that's Millennium Shield rework. Level 5 Earth Warrior. If this card's in your hand, place it in your spell zone, in your spell and trap zone as a spell. If this card is a continuous spell, play 2000. Pay 2000 or reveal a cross, special summon this card, and you can add a Millennium Cross from your deck to your hand. Okay, so this just straight up searches Millennium Cross. Cannot be destroyed by spell trap effects. Alright. So this makes the Millennium Cross searchable, I suppose, which is good. Alright. Millennium Moon Maiden. Level 4 Light Illusion. If this card's in your hand, place it in your ground trap zone. Oh, this one's different. If your opponent activates a card or effect while this card is a continuous spell, you can special summon this card, and if you do, your opponent cannot target level 5 or higher illusion and spellcasters with card effects this turn. If this card battles, neither can be destroyed by that battle. Okay, this card I don't think is very good. This one genuinely just seems like a bad card, because you put it into your spell and trap zone and then you have to wait for your opponent to do something. And even if they do something, the payoff isn't even great. the payoff isn't even good for this. Like, you're getting what, targeting protection for level 5 or higher? Like, nah. This is free though? Yeah, well, it's free, but your opponent has to trigger it for you. Nah, this is not good. Millennium Fiend Reflection, another level 4 illusion. This is these two, right? Are these based off of anything? I can't see. I don't. The image is very bad though. I can't really tell. I can't really tell if these two are based off of other cards. Old vanillas. Fiend Reflection. I see that. Millennium Fiend Reflection. What is Millennium Moon? Oh, Moon Maiden. Moon Maiden and Fiend Reflection. Okay, yeah. If this card's in your hand, place it face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. If your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon this, then you gain life. Nah, this is the same. Both of these cards are bad. That's unfortunate. Both of these cards are bad. Because I was about to say what this deck would be lacking as of now would be good normal summons. So when I looked at these level 4s, I was like, okay, maybe they get a good normal summon. But these are just bad. You would not play those ever. Subtroop, thank you for the 18 months. Appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. Shrine of Veju. Field spell card. You can only use the first effect of this card's name each once per turn. During your main phase, place one monster from your hand face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Then you can place a Millennium monster or a Sengenjin from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Okay, so this is basically... I mean, this is basically a Rhoda once per turn, right? As long as you have one in your hand that you can use for it, this just goes and grabs you another Millennium that you can put in your spell and trap zone, and then you can immediately summon it. Well, that's pretty good. If a face-up Millennium and or Sengenjin you control is destroyed by... Why are they trying to get me to play Sengenjin? You can... Isn't that just a vanilla? Like, why did they include him on this? Like, don't try and make me... Why is it specifically Sengenjin too? Like, why is it specifically Sengenjin? Why is, like, not... Why is Millennium Shield not included? Sengenjin is a Millennium in Japan? Oh, okay. If a face-up Millennium you control is destroyed by battle or effect, you can place it face-up in your spell and trap zone instead of sending it to the graveyard. Okay. Good field spell. Exodia Blaze. Level 10 or higher monsters you control with Exodia and its original name gain these effects. You can pay half your life points. You cannot activate other cards or their effects for the rest of this turn. Also, destroy as many cards in the spell and trap zone as possible. Then, equip 5 Forbidden One monsters from your hand and or deck to this card as equip spells that give it 2000 attack. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Okay, I'm looking at this card from two different angles. So the first angle is that this card, the first thing that I immediately noticed is that this card tutors all 5 Exodia pieces from the deck. It does not tutor them into your hand. They're going to be equip spells. The question is, are you going to be able to get them back into your hand somehow? Which is, I'm going to probably say you can't. I mean, you are locked out of using anything else for the rest of the turn. Hey, Trunade. I mean, Hey, Trunade only bounces set cards, though. You'd need Giant Trunade, and you can't use it because you have no space in your spell and trap zone. Doesn't that count as a win? No, it doesn't. If you have all the Exodia... You need the Exodia pieces in your hand. So I think that... I think looking at it from that perspective doesn't really work. Does Exodia actually activate in your hand? No, Exodia doesn't activate in your hand. But the problem is, if you are locked out of activating any effects, how are you even going to get it to your hand? Like, if you could get it into your hand, then it would work. There has to be a combo. I mean, it's a quick play spell. So theoretically, if you activate a card like Giant Trunade, that is banned, first of all, but that like would bounce all the cards, and then you chain this to that, you would win the game on the spot. The problem is that you need to like have the Exodia do it as well, right? Trevor, yeah. If you can make a deck, if you can make a deck that summons Trevor and the Exodia, dude, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. So the other thing that this card does, let's look at it from a more like designed perspective. What they want you to do with this card, right? Because we're thinking we're thinking way ahead. So obviously they want this deck to revolve around, and this is smart, honestly, because like I said earlier, the Exodia win condition itself is not that fun, right? So if they just made Exodia viable, it'd be kind of weird. As in like alternate win conditions is not something probably that they want to be promoting. So what they are trying to do is they want to make you build a deck with Exodia in it, but not actually win with the effect of Exodia, the Forbidden One, right? And so here, it's all centered around, okay, so instead of assembling all 5 pieces to win with that, just summon this dude. Summon the big Fusion Exodia and try to win with that. And this card obviously helps you do that, right? This card obviously helps you do that because you're playing all the Exodia pieces anyways. In order to summon the thing, you need to play 5. And then you can just get all the bricks out of your deck. And they each of them give it 2,000 attack. Right? So it's going to be 10,000 attack minimum, and it's going to be piercing. So you're probably going to win if you can attack with that. That's the idea here. And then we have Raging Hellfire Exodia Flame, normal trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If your opponent, if you control a level 10 or higher Exodia monster, destroy all cards your opponent controls. If this card is in your grave, except during the turn it was sent there, you can banish it and activate one of these effects. Add a Forbidden One from your deck or grave to your hand. Shuffle up to 5 Forbidden Ones from grave or banishment into the deck. Okay. So if you theoretically were to go first, you could set Exodia Flame, and so you would have this card alone. This card alone, isolated from everything else. If you make this thing going first, you have a monster that probably will not be able to be destroyed by card effects and battle because it's going to be incredibly huge. It's a spell trap negate, and it gives you a trap card that destroys your opponent's entire board once, right? Which isn't terrible for just activating one spell card, which is what you have to do to summon this dude. You just have to draw Millennium Cross. You can stop linking me different Exodia FTKs. I'm not going to watch a bunch of different Exodia FTKs right now, where they do some funny, completely unrealistic stuff. Like, I know that that's possible, but it's not really something that I'm interested in. The question is, are people willing to play this many bricks in order to have this sort of play? I would probably say no, but people have played stuff in the past. Like, I mean, two bricks for Fusion Destiny was okay for everyone. 2 bricks for Dragoon was okay for everyone. But this is more like 5 or 6. Because you have to play all 5 pieces and probably a trap card for it to really be worth it. So I don't think, I mean, I would never, but they aren't bricks if you draw all 5. That is not wrong. You are not wrong. You're not completely wrong. If you draw all of your bricks, you're pogging. Theoretically true. I wouldn't even say there's a real payoff. I mean, Dragoon was enough payoff for people, right? Dragoon was an Omni Negate for 1 spell card. DPE was enough payoff. This spell card gives you a spell trap negate plus a board wipe, which isn't, it's not, I think the payoff is there. I think the payoff is there. I think the I simply don't think it outweighs having to play friggin' 6 bricks for it. I don't think that's the case. Yeah, fun stuff. You know, this feels like legacy support done in a good way, because I don't think this is too powerful, not even close. But it's not so bad that I immediately write it off as completely unplayable, as its own deck maybe. You know, as its own deck, I can at least see that it has a functioning strategy, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not so bad that I'm immediately like, yeah, forget about it. You will never be able to do anything with it, you know? Like, it's not gonna be a meta deck, I don't think. But if you want to have some fun with a rogue deck, maybe, you know, like, they have a plan at least. And I think that's a good way. I think that's a good way to do legacy support, because it's not that bad. It's not good either, but I mean, no one asked for Exodia to be a top tier meta deck, because it wouldn't be that fun to just have your opponent get Exodia together. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, with how fast-paced modern Yu-Gi-Oh is, if they wanted to make you actually win with Exodia, it would have to be an FTK. Because if you're not assembling it on the first turn, then when are you gonna assemble it? You know, like, you're probably gonna lose if you don't have it immediately. So it would have to be an FTK, and I'm glad they're not making that a thing, right? Bravioli Man, thank you for the Prime. Ivincible, thank you for the 15 months. That's a very long time. Appreciate you. And Unik Funai, thank you for the 8 months. Appreciate you guys. All right. And I think I have some other links open, but I think, oh no, these are different cards. I thought these were, oh, these are also lore cards, but we're not done yet. We have Dark Magician, the Eben Sorcerer, which has Dark Magician stats. It's an effect monster. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If Gold Sarcophagus of Light is on the field, special summon this card from your hand. Name becomes Dark Magician while in the monster zone. If this card is destroyed by card effect and a level 5 or higher monster is on the field, you can special summon this card. Then you can set a spell trap directly from your deck that mentions Dark Magician. Okay. Is that good? This is my Twitch name. Oh yeah, right. I was gonna mod you as well. There you go. This doesn't seem that good, but I also don't remember all the effects from the Gold Sarcophagus of Light archetype. I do remember there was a card that blew up your own board, right? There was a, what was it? It was the Gandora. The Gandora, it was like about, you can blow up the entire board, and then this would trigger, and then you can set a spell trap that mentions Dark Magician. Okay. We have Dark Magic Mirror Force. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, or I was gonna say you can stop reading after this part, but there's actually another clause. Or an opponent's monster effect is activated that would destroy a monster on the field, and a monster that mentions Golden Sarcophagus of Light is on the field. The next time each monster you control that mentions the sarcophagus would be destroyed by battle or card effect. It's not destroyed. Also destroy all opponents' attack position monsters. Then if you control Dark Magician, inflict 5. Yeah, this card's bad. This card's bad. First part is just, that's Mirror Force. That's Mirror Force, and that card has not been good since... when was the last time Mirror Force was good? When is the last time a battle trap was actually good? Not even Mirror Force specifically, but like... the last time you played it? Wait, when did I... Oh! Oh, yeah. When you won a YCS with it, I guess. Oh, yeah, right. Right, yeah, that happened. Okay. 2017 then. 2017 then. We did play Mirror Forces, I forgot. True. Or an opponent's monster effect is activated that would destroy... Yeah, I mean, this is just Stardust Dragon ass effect. This is Mirror Force plus Stardust Dragon. Nah, okay. These are these. And this is what I mean. There's a difference between the power level of these two cards and the power of these cards, right? Like I read these cards and I'm like, yeah, this is unplayable. Like not even like fun deck level, you know? So this is what I mean when I say I think I prefer when they do legacy support like this over this, right? Because they both have lore cards on them. You know, you can bat chest at both an equal amount, but you can never have success with these, I don't think. While you can definitely, like, you know, do something with these, right? Well, okay. And then we have, oh, this is a thing. This is a thing from the trailer that I didn't know what it was. Dragon of Soul and Pride, level 8. Dark Dragon, 25/25, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by your opponent having 25 or more cards in their graveyard. If you have 25 or more cards in your graveyard, this card gains 25. Oh, okay, this is just the 25th anniversary celebration card, right? Like, it's not good, but we don't have, it doesn't have to be. Okay, that's fine, that's cool. All right. In Halwood, thank you for the 13 months. Appreciate that. I mean, this is not meant to be a good card, though, chat. This is not meant to be a good card. This is fine. This is the 25th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh! So this card has the word 25, the number 25 written all over it. That's the entire purpose, which is okay. That's fine. You know, 25 attack, 25 defense. If your opponent has 25 cards in the grave, you can special it. If you have 25 in the graveyard, it gains 25. That's the entire thing.